Hello friends, and welcome to week 2 of our exploration into Roy Smeck's The Magic Ukulele Waltz. Last week we went over the A section, this week we're going to tackle the B section of the tune. If you recall from last week, we ended on a big old C major chord. And what we're going to do now is we're going to modulate to the key of F. So we'll put down our regular old F chord, 2 open, 1 open, and we're going to pluck just the F on the first fret of our E string on beat 1. Then strum through our F major chord, and then we're going to pluck individual notes. We're going to put our ring finger or pinky down on the 3rd fret of the A string, giving us a C, and then we're going to play an open A, and then right back to the F where we started. So let's listen to that first measure. And then we're going to play an open E, leave your 2nd finger right where it is, and this is going to create an A minor chord. So we're going to play open E, and then just strum through the A minor twice. So let's listen to those first 2 measures, this first little phrase. And then we're going to do the same thing we just did over top of the F, but with our A minor chords. We're going to pluck the E string and do the same thing, strum through the chord, then C, A, pluck the open E string again. But we're going to resolve down now, leave your 2nd finger where it is, but we're going to put our ring finger next to it onto a D on the 2nd fret of our C string. And you want to actually voice a full D minor chord on the first beat. Although we're only playing 1 note here, we're going to pluck that and then come straight through 2 strums. So let's listen to these first 4 measures of the B section. Now for our next little melodic line, we're just going to play some individual notes. We're going to start on the open C. I like to use my thumb for this whole portion of it to pluck these individual notes to give a consistent sound throughout. So we play C and hammer on D, and then E, repeat that, and we'll come right back to the D, and this time just give it a little vibrato, so it'll sound like this. And we'll repeat that lick one more time, just the C, D, E, land on the D, but as we land on the D this time, we're going to form our G minor chord, open 2, 3, 1, because we're going to pluck the D and then strum through that. We're going to go down to our Hawaiian D7th chord and strum that 3 times. This is what those next 4 bars are going to sound like. So let's try those first 8 measures of the B section of the tune. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to come right back to our G minor chord. In these next 4 bars, we're just going to really be changing 1 note in the chord and playing the same lick over top. So we're going to have a little descending bass line coming through the different iterations of the G minor, 7th chord. So to start our regular old G minor, what we're going to do is pluck the E string. That's going to give us a G, strum through the chord, and immediately we're going to go up to the D on the 5th fret, lift that up. We have the first finger's already down for our G minor chord. It's going to give us our B flat, and then we're going to play the G from where we came from. So here's our first little pattern. And the right hand work is going to be identical for these next few bars. We're just going to be changing 1 note. So now we're going to come down to a G minor major 7th, which means your ring finger is going to come on down to an F sharp on the 2nd fret of your E string, giving this sort of sound. And we're going to do the same thing. Pluck the E string, and then we're going to strum, and then the same little lick on the A string. And then down to a G minor 7th, which means we're just going to change this to an F on the 1st fret of our E string. Same exact lick. And then we're going to play a G minor 6th chord, which means we're adding an open E string. So we'll pluck that and then strum through twice. So let's listen to this little descending G minor lick. And now we're coming back to our little individual note line. We're going to repeat exactly what we did before. Going to add that little vibrato again on the D. But this time when we resolve back to this note D, we're going to actually just sit there for 2 full beats, and then we're going to play an open A, and then a C, And then we're going to strum a C augmented chord. So we'll add our first finger on the first fret of the G string, giving us a G sharp. So here's what our next 4 bars sound like. So let's try these next 8 measures together. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The structure of the B section is actually set up almost identical to the A section. So what we did previously in the A section is we went back to the original 4 bars. Same thing here, but the first 4 bars of the B section. We should go back to our F major chord. It's exactly what we played before. Now if you recall back in the A section, after this we went to a C7 lick right here. So now we're in the key of F. We're going to add in an F7th lick. So we'll put down our F7th chord, 2, 3, 1, and we'll leave the A string open. And we're going to pluck the F on the first fret of our E string on beat 1, and then strum through. And then we're going to pluck the F again and immediately hammer on the pinky to the G. And you want to leave that there. And we're going to play an A on the last beat and come right back to this G on the 3rd fret of our E string. And then strum through just our regular F7th and repeat that lick. F, E, A. And we'll resolve now to a B flat 6th chord. In Smeck's original version, he used a regular old B flat here. I happen to like the B flat 6th, so I'm using it. I get to take certain liberties from time to time. So we're going to strum that twice, down to an A7th, and then resolve to a G minor. Here, that's very close to a B flat 6th, but we get that minor tonality. So let's listen to this little F7th section. Now let's try those next 8 bars together. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Much like in the A section where we went to a D minor 7th in this measure, since we're in F, we're going to go to a G minor 7th now, our 2-7 chord. And that voicing that we're going to start on is open 5, 6, 5. Smeck played this more down here like this, but this is a hard voicing for a lot of people to reach, so I like to use this one in this instance. Now rhythm for the next few bars is going to be 2 8th notes and 2 quarter notes, so down, up, down, down. And on every up strum, we're going to change 1 note chromatically, and that's the note on the A string. So first we're going to strum down on this G minor 7th, move it on back 1 fret, come right back to it, strum twice. We're going to come down to our regular G minor 7th voicing that we know, open 2, 1, 1. We're going to make this a sus4. We're going to put a C on the 3rd fret of our A string and walk that on down to the 2nd fret, 1st fret. We're going to go to an F7th, but we're going to put the C up top. That's our melody note. And again, we're going to move it a half step. So we're going to go down to an E7th. Note that an F7th that we always play, and our E7th, really the same voicing of the chord, just 1 fret apart, which is the counting with our first finger for this open string in the E7th. Then we're going to go up to a D9th chord, bar across the 5th fret. Put your 2nd finger on the 6th fret, the F sharp on your C string, and the ring finger is going to be up top on the E, our 9th on the A string on the 7th fret, and on the up strum we're going to walk that down 1 fret to an E flat, and strum through 5, 6, 5, 5. So regular D7th chord. So let's listen to those little moving lines here. We resolve it down to our regular old G minor chord. Strum twice. We've heard that before. That's our little melodic lick that was happening earlier. We're going to resolve this now to a C6th, 3 strums. Put down an F chord, but pluck just the E string first. 2 strums, and then round it on an A7th chord, which is telling us we're going somewhere different in the next section, our C section. So let's listen to those last couple measures of this. Now let's try the entire B section together. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of the tune. Next week we're going to dive into the C section of this song. If you're part of my Patreon community, we already have the tabs for the whole song up if you want to play through it. For the rest, y'all will get through it in the next couple weeks. I'll see you soon.